and welcome to Maths Network. Today we will be understanding the topic of coordinate geometry, that is distance formula. So first guys, we will see that how the formula was made and solve a practice question. So let's get started. So here guys, let's say that this is our plane and these are the two axes, that is the x-axis and the y-axis, and the point of intersection is origin, which is 0, 0. Now guys, here we have been given 2 points A and B, where A's coordinates are x1, y1 and B's coordinates are x2, y2, and we are supposed to find the distance between them. So guys, to solve this, first we drop a perpendicular from A onto the x-axis. Now guys, let's call this point on the x-axis to be P. Its coordinates will be x1, 0. Here the x-coordinate remains the same as the one of the A, that is x1, and the y-coordinate becomes 0 as it is on the x-axis. So the coordinates for P will be x1, 0. Now guys, we draw a horizontal line from point A onto the y-axis, and let's call the point to be Q. So now guys, Q's coordinates will be 0, y1. The x-coordinate will be 0 as it is on the y-axis, and y-coordinate remains the same. Now guys, we do the same for B. So we drop a perpendicular from B, and let's call this point on the x-axis to be R. So its coordinates will be x2, 0 because the x-coordinate remains the same and y-coordinates becomes 0 as it is on the x-axis. And now guys, we draw a horizontal line from point B onto the y-axis, and let's call the point to be S. Its coordinates will be 0, y2. The x-coordinate will be 0 as it is on the y-axis, and y-coordinate remains the same, that is y2. Now guys, we see that there is a point of intersection here. Now let's call that point O. Now guys, we see that P and R are on the same line, that is the x-axis. So their distance we can write as x2 minus x1, which is the subtraction of the x-coordinates. Now guys, if you observe carefully, you can see that P, O, B and R is forming a rectangle. So rectangle is formed by these points, and we know a property of rectangle that opposite sides are equal. So the length of PR equals to the length of OB. So guys, we get the length of OB to be equal to x2 minus x1. Now guys, we find the distance between Q and S. So here also we subtract the y coordinates. So by that we get their distance to be y1 minus y2. Now here if we observe carefully, we can see that Q, A, O and S also forms a rectangle, and we know the property that opposite sides are equal. So QS equals to AO. So guys, we get the length of AO to be equal to y1 minus y2. Now guys, we can observe that AOB is making a right angle, and by this we can say that AOB will be a right angle triangle. So we will draw a line between A and B. Now guys, to find the length of A and B, use the Pythagoras theorem, which we can define as the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other two shorter sides. So here we have AB to be our hypotenuse, and the other two short sides are AO and OB. So the sum of the squares of these sides, that is square of AO plus square of OB, equals to square of AB. So now let's solve this. Now guys, mathematically we can represent the Pythagoras theorem as a square plus b square equal to c square. So in our case, we will have AO square plus OB square equal to AB square. Now guys, we put in the values. So the value for AO is y1 minus y2 and OB is x2 minus x1. So in the equation, we will have y1 minus y2 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square equal to AB square. Now guys, we apply roots on both the sides. So on the right hand side, the square and the root will get cancelled, and thus guys, we get our distance formula that AB equals to under root y1 minus y2 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Now guys, we shall solve a practice sum on it. So our question is, find the distance between 2 points A whose coordinates are 2, 3 and B whose coordinates are 5, 2. So here we have our point A and point B. Now guys, let's say the coordinates of point A are x1, y1 and coordinates of point B are x2, y2, so that it will be easier for us. Now guys, we drop a perpendicular from point A onto the x-axis and then a horizontal line onto the y-axis. Now we do the same for B, drop a perpendicular on the x-axis and a horizontal line onto the y-axis. So we can see that there is a point of intersection and we can name it O. Now we can see that AOB forms a right angle, and on this we can say that the triangle that AOB forms will be a right angle triangle. So here we have to find this length between A and B. So now guys, let's go and solve it. So here we have our formula. So here guys, our y1 is 3, our y2 is 2, x1 is 2 and x2 is 5. So now we plug these values into the equation. So we'll have AB equal to 3 minus 2 whole square plus 5 minus 2 whole square whole under root. Now guys, we know that 3 minus 2 gives us 1. So we have 1 square plus 5 minus 2 gives us 3. So we have 3 square both under root. Now guys, square of 1 is 1 and square of 3 is 9. So we have 1 plus 9 under root, which leads us to our answer that guys, the length of AB is root 10 units. And guys, whenever we are writing the length between 2 points, we have to always write the unit at the back. Sometimes in the question it is given, maybe it can be centimeters or meters, but when it is not given, we have to write units. So that's the answer to our question guys. If you learned anything new in the video, do like the video, and if you are new to the channel, do subscribe the channel. Thank you. Bye.